Morning everybody, it's the 25th of May and we are off to Sedges. Not been to Sedges for quite some time now, and it's the first round of the Topkit or 3 meter league. Love this league, as some of you are already aware. So today is, last night we've had a little bit of rain, but it's been mild. It's a nice day today, sort of mild. I think it's sort of 16, 17 degrees, which is okay. I didn't really want it really warm. I didn't want it sort of in the low 20s like we've been getting, because the carp can be a bit fickle. They can just swim around on the surface and that, and not really get their heads down till later. You've always got those skimmers to target, of course, and a few other species. There's odd tench, even odd barbel in there. Not seen one for a while, but there is odd ones, so they're always a bit of fun to catch. But with the conditions as they are, and there's a good wind today, now it may be too much in some pegs. It's going to be difficult to present, so I have made some rigs that are a little bit heavier than I normally use. I normally use sort of 12, 4x12, 4x14. The maximum amount of line you're allowed to use is 3 meters as well, just the same length as your top kit, or a top kit in a lot of cases, and a little bit of pole. For me, it's a interelastic kit with a short 4 is 2 meters 900, I think, 2 meters 950 maybe. So that's the length we fish. So I'll have that longer line one, and normally like a 4x16 for going a little bit further down the shelf. But I've put up like a couple of 4x18s today, just in case of those conditions and that wind and that. But I like it when it's like that. I have fished it like that before a few years back, with it really raging through, and I've had to put like a lot of line on deck. But of course it isn't really on deck, because you sort of string the shot out, and it's not sort of down like that and then a load of line on deck. It's like that, isn't it? But it's just figuring out where to throw your feed in and where that feed's going to go down and hit on the bottom. But looking forward to it. Fantastic league. Let's get down there, have a bit of breakfast, say hello to a few people we haven't seen for a while, and hope, fingers crossed, to be bungo. See you in a bit. So thanks for joining me, everybody. This is Sedges Topkit League, as we mentioned, and we've just fed down the edge at the all-in. Now the reason we fed down the edge first is because I'll always feed the line I want to go on first, And then secondly, we're feeding out in front of us, which is really where we're expecting the catch, but I don't want to feed it and go straight on it. There's always a chance of a carp down the edge in the first sort of 5 minutes. It's seldom, to be honest, that's ever happened for me in this league. But saying that, we've got this nice breeze, as you can see, right to left. It's got to be worth a look, hasn't it? So 5 minutes down the edge, it didn't happen, no surprise. So out in front, where we really expect to catch. Starting on 6mm meat over micros and 6mm meat we fed. And we're off the mark. Now I got the camera quite close, as you can see, and the volume down quite low, because I figured at least that way you can get a little bit of the atmosphere, you know, the sounds and such going on. If I had it too far away, I wouldn't be able to, because it is so windy. As you obviously see, we've drawn the windy side, if you like. So just fed a little bit of meat there, lifted our rig up, look, and one actually had it. I actually felt that fish grab that. And that's got me thinking earlier, I've got some fish in front of me there. I missed a bite. Back in. That's a stamp roach, isn't it? But not what we're after. So a missed bite and then catching a roach. I think the missed bite was probably the culprit, was probably a roach. And I think that's two signs there to get and feed again. Simple little signs, aren't they? Simple little signs to let you know, feed again. So straight away, feed again. Then we nip down the edge again. Not going to feed it again. Just going to nip down there and see if anything did settle in the last sort of, you know, when we fed it sort of 15 minutes ago at the start. So nothing down the edge. Tackle on this rig is Dave Wilmot's ever reliable hybrid green elastic. I think it's a 1.8, it might be a 2.0, I'm not entirely sure. It's quite soft but quite powerful at the same time. You can see me striking into those skimmers. I mean, I wouldn't want to fish for skimmers on it at 14.5 meters, but on a short pole it's fine. You can get away with much more robust kit. And then we've got 0.2 mainline. We got a 4x16 rube, so that's a wire rube with a 2mm bristle. So I got lots of stability there, which you need today. I got a 6" of 016 hook length and just a normal B911, not an extra strong one or anything, just a straight B911, size 16, spade end. Fished them hooks for years and they're great. So the wind's swapping round a little bit, isn't it, direction wise, and I hope it settles down in the sort of one really. It's kind of coming into us, but at the same time it's mostly right to left, but it is turning a little bit. And where it funnels between them islands on Tile Lake, you can get this, you can get sort of a lot of wind in front of you, then a peg left or to your right could be have next to no wind. You know, that's how it is down here sometimes. I always think when the water moves, it's better fishing. When it's dead flat and sunny and all the rest of it, as you know, it can be tough. So 6 skimmers in the first 30 minutes. I'm more than happy with that, really. So still nothing on that left hand new line, but we've had nothing down the edge either, and I'm debating now which line to drop. I need two lines, I feel, because I can't just stay in front, waiting forever. And then when I refeed in front, I need somewhere else to go. So I'm debating which one of those to drop. I've just refed that sort of in between line, the new line, if you like. Um, so yeah, I'm going to have a 10 minutes in front now, and then I'm going to have another look on that new line, and if it doesn't give me anything, I think I'm going to drop it. We're halfway through the match now, and I've got 8 or 9 skimmers, so I've definitely misread it. I thought it was going to fish a lot better on the wind. I thought I would actually catch carp throughout the match. Maybe not many, but odd carp, and it hasn't happened at all. And I've heard as well they're catching better in the flat water across, so we've got to get our head down and be a little bit more patient. So this was literally the last put-in on this line. And the float shoots under, I strike, and I can feel it's a big fish. This has got some weight, which is really handy. And I'm not going to rush it, because obviously, as you've seen, it's fishing hard. We've got a fairly robust kit on, but you can get some really big fish in this league. In fact, the biggest fish I hooked in this league and landed, I think, was 1810, but I have seen them up to 23 pound landed. Yeah, I just had a glimpse of him then. He's a double, a low double, but a good fish. And I had no liners, or I've had no foul hook fish. As I say, no liners or anything. That was just a bite completely out of the blue. So I don't think I don't think the carp have moved in as such. I just think it's a big fish just coming over that bit of feed I was feeding there. Lovely. It's a lovely clean bite. And if those sort of fish are going to show today, then I don't mind sort of setting these traps and moving between these two lines. I think now, as I've hooked this, that's sort of told us, hasn't it, which line to drop, which is that edge line, isn't it? We haven't caught anything on it. I don't want to waste any more time of the match, because time is now running out. I know we're only halfway through, but decisions got to be made at this stage, and I think that edge is going to get binned now. I'm just going to leave it alone. I don't mind standing up when I'm fishing in these sort of depths with a bit of a ripple on the top of the water. It's not ideal, but I'd sooner do that than pull all the elastic in and leave myself with no elastic out because of the depth of the rig, and put extra pressure on the sort of hook hold and the tackle, of course. So I've got no issue with standing up if I need to safely sort of land the fish. Now you can see why you have the big landing nets at Sedges, can't you? If you get one in there over £20, it fills that net. So in this league, anything over £15 in the league has to be weighed in on the bank immediately and returned. If you put it in your net and it goes over £15, it will be disqualified. Now we've not caught loads. I don't think it is 15, but I'm just sort of judging it, as you can see. And I haven't caught any big fish for a while, and I'm thinking, do you know what? I'm not going to take the risk. I'm going to weigh it. It's cost me a few seconds, but it was worth doing, and he was over £13. And he's a good judge, and we sort of know now. They may be spawned out, to be honest, as well. I'm not sure if they spawned down here or not. So I'm not even going to worry about going back in on that line and looking again. As I said, we had no liners, nothing. I'm just going to go straight in and feed it again. I've opened up my second bag of meat there, even though I've still got a bit of meat left from my first bag. As I say, it's seldom I ever use more than 2 tins of meat down here. I've caught over £200 in this league in the past and only ever used 1 tin of meat that day, so you don't need loads. Good mate Ron comes along and tells me some people on the opposite side have up to £70 already. And we're sat here with, what, with that big fish, probably £25. So the wind drops a little bit and we're able to throw a little bit of bait, which is nice. So as I was saying about the tow earlier, it hasn't really affected where we're throwing the bait in, which is a good thing. I kind of would have liked it if it had, because I think it makes for better angling then. I think the ones who can judge it better come through that little bit higher. But today's all about getting in the top 10. If you can get in the top 10 in the 3 matches, then you'll make the final, and that's where you want to be. And also you'll probably notice we're fishing with the 3 meters just off the edge of our knee. That way I know I can sit and feed and fish really accurately. Another little tip I got for you in these sort of things is to not pull your foot plate all the way out. If I pulled my foot plate all the way out, I could be sat further back, you know, by a fair few inches. So I pulled my foot plate out, so as I got a good 8-9 inches of foot plate back underneath the box still, and this helps me see down the edge a little bit, and it also gives me that extra 8 or 9 inches further down the shelf to fish as well. Not that I think that's massive, but I do think seeing down the edge, if you're a little bit more forward, is easier. And he had it straight away on the drop there, and I missed it, didn't he? The amount of times I've witnessed that in all sorts of conditions when meat fishing is incredible, isn't it? You know, that strung shotting pattern is so vital. Oh, look at that. And yeah, we missed one last time. We were ready this time and we got him in. Just like that. It's amazing, isn't it? They watch that little bit of meat coming down and they intercept it. Time's gone by. We're down to the last couple of the hours of the match now, and the wind's temporarily dropped. So I fed a little bit heavier again now, as I feel we need carp. So this looks about £10 again. It's a mirror, isn't it? I'd say, yeah, decent fish. Exactly what we needed. When you're catching fish that size and it's sort of a close-ish or low weight match, I don't think there's going to be £200 a day. I don't think there's even going to be £120 a day, £140. So I think, if you lose a fish that sort of size, it impacts on your result massively. We have to remember there's 20 people in this, 1 point for first, 20 for last. Oh, lovely. And it's just a lovely league to fish. I loved it. It's sort of up close and intricate, and your little bits of thinking in that. I've had to use quite a bit of back shot today as well. I've actually got 5 number 8s on there, and then I've kept it a small shot because I can sort of um, string them out as well sometimes. Sometimes that sort of helps hold it a little bit better rather than just clumping the 5 number 8s together. Oh, and this is going to go one of two ways. He's bottomed us right out here, this one. Or we've turned him. Maybe. So yeah, as I was saying about sort of, 20 people fishing, there's 20 people in Group A, 20 people in Group B. Both those groups have 3 matches each, and the top 10 from both groups go through to the 20 peg final. So you're always fishing the same lake with the same amount of anglers, um, but then that's how it works. And I think I've fished the series. I think in the past I did have a bit of a break for 2 or 3 years from the series, and then sort of came back 2 years ago. Um, but I think we've fished it 6 times. We've actually won it twice, been second twice, and I've won the silvers overall twice. So in the final, to be fair, we've had a pretty good record. It's been very kind to us. That's another fish. That's another 13 pounder. So with 45 minutes to go, I really thought we were in with a chance of winning, but the wind, as you can see, actually turned around, and yeah, the peg just went away from me a little bit. Really, I just didn't feel there were fish there. We caught this skimmer. Um, we caught a couple more odd skimmers, but it was very difficult.